Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Professor Loki. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a build for this tanky. Basically, this is going to be the build for rest of season 4, and until like around February, where not season 4, sorry, season 3, and until February comes in, and then season 4 will happen, and I'll tell you a new build after that. So a lot of people have been telling me, Loki, what should I build? Should I still build Hydra? Should I go back to Trance? Should I like what should I do, Loki? And I'll tell you. So you still pick Hydras, because they could like nerf Hydras again to 40 to 30 power, and I'll still get it because its second passive is so good, and its first passive is beautiful. Compared to Trance, which just has a passive that increases your power, like power isn't really worth anything because you can just build pure pen and deal way more damage. Because people have base protections. Like you deal more damage with true damage than building like half pen and half power, because people had base protections again. See, like I have 14 at level 1 right here. Um, so what I usually build, now this is for Conquest. Well, this is just generally really any game mode. For Joust, I don't play Joust because Loki isn't really good in Joust because Joust is very closed space. Now, if you do well in Joust, that's good for you. I'm just talking about on paper. Loki doesn't do good in Conquest, Joust, really anywhere that's like tight spaces or have like roles like freaking Conquest, or really have like big team fights. So he doesn't do good in Arena either. Um, so he really doesn't do well in any game mode. He just sucks. So what you want to do is that for Conquest, this really depends. If you're going to go duo lane, you want to get Bluestone Pendant into boots. Like you still don't get Trance. No Trance allowed. Trance is gone. You ignore Trance. Do never build Trance because it just slows your early game. It costs way too much. You don't get movement speed until like second item. And since Trance is expensive, you won't be getting it for a while. So it's just not worth it. Like look how expensive Trance is. It's 2,600, bro, compared to 1,500 for boots. So what you want to do is for dual lane, you want to get Bluestone. For solo lane, I would like to get this item called Vanguard. Now, I sadly wasn't recording that one video. What basically happened is, now I'm not lying because you can check my history, and I was in solo lane against a Hercules and a Naja. And what happened was, and I had Mark of the Vanguard, and I was solo lane Loki. Naja ganked me, sashed me, ulted me, threw me in the air, did her combo or whatever, and then threw me back on the ground. And Hercules ulted me, and I still lived with 100 and something HP. And Naja was like, "What the frick? How is this guy alive? He just ate 2 ults." And then Naja tower dove me, and I ulted him in tower. Hercules used his one in the tower, and I still lived with like 10 or 15 HP. And then Hercules just went out because he was about to die. So so basically the result was I just took a Hercules one, a Herc ult, a Naja Sash and ult, and I still got a kill. So the reason why I lived that entire thing is because of this item. This Mark of the Vanguard is so like strong. Like you guys don't understand how strong this item is early on. If you have Mark of the Vanguard, you will not die unless you obviously do something stupid like take free tower shots, take free damage. Like obviously if you play stupid, you will die. But if you don't, you will like this will the whole point of Mark of the Vanguard for Loki. Now a lot of people think this is ridiculous, but the thing is though, if you get Mark of the Vanguard, you're not trying to kill anyone. You're not trying to kill the warrior. Why would you try to kill the warrior, dude? He's going to kill you. Like he's tanky. He has more health than you. He deals more. He has more base damage on his abilities early on. It just won't work. So Mark of the Vanguard is something I would like to take in solo lane to prevent from being killed. And you don't want to feed the enemy. Play safe until late game and then start doing something. So that's what I like to do. I like to get Mark Vega for solo so I won't die. And I can also tank minions. And if you do want to be aggressive, you can also get Mark the Vanguard and be aggressive if you're fighting against like a hunter or a mage in solo lane. This Mark of the Vanguard will help you from being outpoked by minions, because this gives you physical protections, health, and a really strong passive. And this counters Anubis. If you're seeing Anubis solo, get this. 5 damage reduce. Okay, just imagine Anubis's ultimate. He does like what, 10 per tick or 20 per tick. Reduce that by 5. That's a lot of damage reduced. Okay, so now we're going to go with dual lane. You want to get bluestone, whatever. You want to pick warrior Tabi. This is for either lanes. Hydra's Lament. And if you're going jungle, same thing. Just get Buma's Mask. I'm sorry, I'm still like a little sick from that bronchitis thing. So then Yone's Wrath afterwards, then Titan's Bane. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You can do two things. You can either go Spirit Robe or Blood Forge. Why Spirit Robe? So you'll get full cooldown, because Hydra's Lament, they get a nerf on the cooldown and one gives you 10% rather than 15%. So you could get Spirit Robe for the full cooldown and protections, but you can also still get Blood Forge for just a damage or to sustain. But if you're going for sustain, you might as well just get protections. And the reason why, like, oh, Loki, didn't you say like protections isn't meaningless without, health? Well, the reason why, there's two reasons why you get this. The cooldown and the passive. Mitigation, it doesn't matter how much health you have. Mitigation is mitigation. Mitigation is just so good. You get 15% damage mitigation for 3 seconds every time you hit with hard crowd control. That is beautiful. So what happens if you, for example, what if like Nox uses her 2 on you and you're one combo? You're gonna die. But with this, you're most likely gonna live with like very low HP, but you're gonna live. So you want to get this, And what if Hercules uses his 1 and then throws a rock at you? Well, you have mitigation because Hercules' 1 is a stun, so you can mitigate that. It's very good. You will deal less damage, but trust me, if you use your entire combo on a squishy, you'll kill them. So there's also basically another way to build Loki, and I've been trying this. This is just a test right now. So lately I've just been like, you know what? Screw protections. Who needs that? Because I'm trying to actually, guys, I'm trying to play a little bit better. I'm a really bad player when it comes to farming and positioning. So I need to work on those, and that requires me to play less aggressive. I'm a very aggressive player, which is why I do bad. And I sometimes do good, but a lot of the times my team is a very passive team, so I have to play along with that as well. So what I'm trying to do is play more passive and play more behind the scenes. So like an assassin's supposed to be. Like wait until someone gets low and then finishes off. Every time, like I'm trying to make my own opportunities rather than waiting for them. So that's not a good thing, really. So what I like to do now instead is screw cooldown, because my goal is to kill one person. So what I want to do is I would just rush this. And next item you can get Void Shield or just get Crusher. Why do I get Crusher? Not for the passive, but for the base pen. 40 and 20 pen. So this is pretty ridiculous build. This is a test. Don't say this is not a good. I would not recommend this build to anyone. But this is basically what I'm gonna try from now on, because I mean, with this build, your 3 and your ultimate can one-shot a squishy. So it's really strong. But again, I don't really recommend it, and I just recommend with a safer build, Blood Forge or Spirit Robe. So it's all up to you guys. I'm not telling you how to build. I'm telling you what you could build. So that is exactly what I'm going to be showing you guys. And one more keynote, I'm going to add something special to this video, and that is how to counter people with Aegis. So if you know people have Aegis, this is what you do. It's not really a counter, but it's something to at least stick on them, and a way to actually, continue, maybe kill them possibly. This will increase your chances of killing a person greatly. So what you want to do is, I'm just going to go to level 10. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is what you want to do. If you know that they have Aegis, if you know, like this is something you have to know. If they don't have Aegis and you're pretty sure they used it in the last fight, go ahead and kill them. But if you know they have Aegis, or if you know they have, like, well, beads don't really matter. If they have Aegis, dude, this is what you want to do. So this is a typical combo, right? For Loki. Pretend they're like from a distance, right? Pretend they have like half health and they have Aegis. So what you want to do is ult 3, and then you want to not ult. You want to use your invisibility 3, and then you want to ult. This is the part where they'll Aegis as soon as you deal the auto. Your autos will not kill the person, but your bleed will. However, they're gonna Aegis that bleed so they won't die. And once they do Aegis it, they can just move around because they're immune to slows. Aegis removes soft CC, so they can't be slowed. So what you want to do instead is this: use your invisibility, use your ult, and that's it. and the bleed will now apply to them, but they're gonna Aegis it, follow them around, and then use your 3 and slow them and auto them to death. That is the one of the best ways to counter Aegis. Another way is if you know that they don't have beads, this is how you can do it. But you have to be very fast. This is for players who don't have ping issues or people who are actually like really good at those, fast reflexes and stuff like that. So if they have Aegis but they don't have beads, right? Now that is for usually if they have beads and Aegis or just have Aegis, but this is also for if they just have Aegis and that's it and they have full HP. What you want to do is make sure they're squishy. What you want to do is you want to go invisible, auto ult instantly, and then that they should be dead. Because the reason why you don't activate your 3 first is not because, I don't want to make sure like they can hear me. No, 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 no. Because again, your bleed gets ageist. We want to find a way to prevent that. We want to find a way to make it where my bleed will actually damage the player. So if they don't have beads and I do this, apply the dot, instantly ult them, they are CC, so they cannot aegis the bleed. So my bleed will take on effect while they're stunned, and then I can use my 3 and hit them in the back, and they'll probably be like very close to death. And if they do get to aegis, just try to stick around to them, follow them, and then one more auto will kill them. If not, they will most likely die. So that is 2 ways to counter Aegis. So then people might ask me if that's how you counter Aegis, why do I still complain? Because I don't really do this because I forget and because I don't know, I'm just stupid. So those are the ways to counter Aegis, guys. If you guys have trouble with Aegis, it's not a guaranteed, but it increases your chances of killing the target by like twice as much. So before we end this video, we're going to be talking about relics. I completely forgot about that. So what you want to do for relics is, well, see, I would just say go Purification Sanctuary for Loki. That's really the only items you really need with relics. But I made an oath a few months ago saying that to never buy Aegis because it's a ridiculous item. I only buy Aegis. Oh, sorry, I buy Aegis on every other god, but I do not buy Aegis on Loki because I'm more experienced enough to not need Sanctuary. If you do not need Sanctuary, you're removing that false like that free feeling because Sanctuary is a take it out of jail card basically. So if you have Sanctuary, you know that if you mess up, you'll be free. But if you don't have Sanctuary, you will always know that if I mess up, I will die. So this will make you ultimately a better player. If you don't get these items that save your life, you'll become a better player naturally. You'll be frustrated, it'll be hard at first, but over time you'll get better and better and better. So, but if you don't care about that, and you're like, you know what, screw this, man. There's a Loki enemy team, screw this. Then go ahead and pick Sanctuary. That's fine by me. But for Loki, usually I like to get Sunder with Hog. Hog because it's a defensive mechanism. So every time I get CC'd and there's like 4 people around me, I can hog them, giving me a second to, look around and breathe. So I can just stealth out and leave. If not, I usually have Sunder, which is for... I sunder first, and then if you sunder a squishy, you will kill them, most likely. They will die, because sundering reduces their attack speed, does true damage, and reduces their protection. It's a free Titan's Bane early on, guys. 30%, that's a free Titan's Bane early on. So it's very, very, very good. So yeah, Sunder, it's a guaranteed kill on any squishies. And of course sometimes I get beads because beads is something that you can't avoid Loki ult. You can't really avoid Naja, Sash, and ult combo. It's really not. It's unavoidable. If it's unavoidable CC, you can get beads. I still get Purification, guys, because it's just I can't do anything about it. There's too much CC in this game. I'm not that OP. I don't think anyone is. Even pro players buy beads in Sanctuary. So you can go ahead and get beads. I don't care. You can also get sprint. This is really up to you. This is if you want to be more supportive. If you want to be a supportive Loki, you want to get sprint. Maybe frenzy as well. If you were a split pusher type. Do not get teleport. I still see some Loki players get this. I still see some Loki players get transcendence. Sadly, I wish they would see this video. But do not get teleport, please. It's not a good active. It just if you're a split pusher, that's fine. But if you want to split push, play Bastet. She's 10 times better than a split pusher than Loki. So just don't get this item. It's 180 seconds. and it's only good early on, and then late game, you just wasted an active. It's not good. So that's gonna be about it, guys. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please post it down below. And as always, I'll see you all Loki and non-Loki players next time.